Wolves 173, and tonight is going to be the final broadcast ever on the game NASCAR Heat 3. And tomorrow will be the first ever broadcast on NASCAR Heat 4 for the Cup Series Race 1 of the playoffs at Las Vegas. That's only if we get a broadcaster for tomorrow night. And chances are it'll probably be Predator because the last two races, I think it was, the last two races, Predator did the broadcast. Last week he was by himself, and the week before that he had Ryan guy and spotter. So chances are that Predator will be the only one broadcasting again tomorrow night. So I'll be back in a second. Oh. Never mind, because Bradley was the only one in the lobby, so I guess that means he's gonna make another lobby real quick. But yeah, gonna be the Rhino Pro Truck Outfitters 300. I think that's what it's called, the Rhino Pro Truck Outfitters 300. I have to check that real quick. Yep, the Rhino Pro Truck Outfitters 300 National Series race from Las Vegas. Yep, that is correct. Let me just close that out real quick. Alright, so still waiting to accept the invite. All I saw was Bradley, the only one. Excuse me. Whew. I only saw Bradley in the lobby, so chances are I cannot join. But I'll look in. Yeah, Bradley's still the only one in there, so there we go, there's the invite. Alright, so this is the invite that I accept when ready. But until then, like I mentioned, it's the final ever broadcast on NASCAR Heat 3, and tomorrow will be the first ever broadcast on NASCAR Heat 4, possibly with Predator in the booth. If not, then I'll be broadcasting the first official race on the channel on Saturday, Richmond, for the beginning of the National Series playoffs. So the playoff grid as of now is set for the National Series. Let me go check. Let me look at the standings real quick. As of before Las Vegas. So Predator, GT Jones, who's not going to be here tonight, so Bradley's going to inform in the 5 car, and Weasel and Northry. They were the 4 drivers that won a race and made the playoffs based on the wins. Predator with his win at Daytona in July. GT Jones with his win at Chicago. I think it was his first win in Chicago. No, Great on Wheels won in Chicago. I believe Michigan was the first one. And Weasel with his win in Bristol, and Northfield with his win in Daytona, the season opener. The other 4 drivers that made it in the postseason with the wins, and Incog, Ryan Guy, Trainer were locked in on points, and NASCAR Man got lucky and his spot was clinching the playoffs. I say lucky because at the time, Storm was the one driver that could spoil the playoff party and knock NASCAR Man out, because he only needed 1 point to surpass a driver in the regular season standings, and his win from Charlotte would count towards the playoffs, which would knock NASCAR Man out. But the NASCAR Man would have to win the race in order to get in the playoffs. But unfortunately, Storm didn't show up and get that valuable 1 point, so that means he was officially ineligible for the playoffs. So that means NASCAR Man's spot is now locked in on playoffs. So everyone will make the everyone here will make the playoffs. So I think I can accept the invite now, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm here, and now we're getting ready to load into the final race ever on Nascar Heat 3. But it's going to be the final practice session in Heat 3, I should say that. So, Bradley didn't perform as well as he did last night in the truck season. I was a little surprised with truck season race last night. I was a little surprised that he didn't do better. I thought he would be dominating and lead the most laps, but apparently he did not dominate at all. I don't think he was a dominant truck last night. So a little surprising to see him not dominate like usual. But here he is racing with Incog in the 42 and Predator in the 9 behind him. Again, Bradley is subbing for GT Jones tonight in the 5 car. He's rocking the Pilot Flying J colors. This is the final time that the number 5 car will be on the track. Next week in Richmond, GT Jones will be piloting the 1 car with the same sponsorship, Pilot Flying J. And Incog in the 42 will be driving the 10 car next week at Richmond, driving the Nutrient AG Solutions car. And Predator will still be in the 9 car for the remainder of the season, till he parts ways with Junior Motorsports and signed a deal to own Joe Gibbs Racing next year. So he's going to be in the National Series next year in Joe Gibbs equipment. But these 3 guys are racing really hard for this spot. I remember the first time that I spotted in the league. It was here in Las Vegas, spotting for Predator in the 19. Excuse me, Predator was in the 88 at the time. He was part-time in the National Series, but it was awesome spotting for Predator that night. And I think Bradley won in the 23 car, who was subbing for Money at the time. So there's a NASCAR man, excuse me, that's not NASCAR man, that's Wine Guy in the 0, who will be trying to go for the championship. I'd say he's the, he and Trainer, I think, are the 2 drivers I probably could spoil. And Trainer, I think I mentioned Trainer. He, Northfleet, and Trainer, the 0, the 15, and the 23. I think they're the 3 drivers that can spoil these playoffs and possibly make it to the championship 4. But as of right now, only 6 of the 8 playoff drivers are here. Excuse me, 5 of the 8, because G. Jones' car is on the track, but Bradley's behind the wheel. So, yeah, we're going to head back up to the pack here. Got Incog in the 42 here, driving the 42 car for the final time this season. Be switching over to Colleague Racing's number 10 car. Colleague Racing will be starting to field 2 cars, one for a part-time role, Bradley in the 11, and the other car for the 10, which will be for Incog, who's going to be going for a championship. Predator will still be in the 9 car. Bradley, who's going to be in the 48 car in the Cup Series still, and this season, starting tomorrow at Las Vegas. The 5 car will no longer be affiliated with Junior Motorsports. It will be affiliated with BJ McLeod Motorsports, along with the 78 car, which I ran part-time this season. That will be switch over to BJ McLeod Motorsports. And the 5 car will be changed to the 1 car, which ran earlier this season with Ed Fire behind the wheel. But One Main Financial stepped down from sponsorship of the 1 car. That's why the 1 will not be on the track till next week at Richmond, with GT Jones behind the wheel going for the championship. Still affiliated with Junior Motorsports, just a different number and same sponsorship. So I'll be curious to see how these new paint schemes and new equipment will be handling, especially for GT Jones. It'll be a different number, but still same sponsorship, same team, same crew. And Incog's going to have a whole different line of sponsorship. He's going to have different sponsorship. Fire Alarm Services was one of the main sponsors on his 42 car. They'll be going over to the 23 car with Trainer. along with Allegiant Allegiant Travels sponsorship. That should still be on that 23 car. But you maybe see those fire alarm services paint scheme on that 23 car rather than the 42. And NCOG's going to have a new sponsor called Nutrient AG Solutions. It's going to have a new team, Colleague Racing. But what I heard is going to be the same crew that have been on this 42 car all season, going over to that 10 car. So it's not just NCOG going to the 10 car. It's going to be the entire 42 team going to be the 10 team next year, next week, not next year. So, be interesting to see how, see it going out the road. There's Nascar coming in the 7, blocking the helmet's colors. Be curious to see how NCOG will handle the new ride, how he and his team will handle the new ride. GT Jones is going to have a different number, but it's the same equipment, so hopefully GT will put up the same performance that he did earlier this season, back in the summer. See how he'll handle here in the fall, when playoff time. So we're gonna ride on board here with NCOG, who's right at the bottom here, 1 and 2. He's got Bradley in the 5 and Predator in the 9 in front of him. He's following the line of Bradley, and Predator got really tight in turn 4 there, had to get out of the gas, allowed Bradley to get underneath him, but also allowed NCOG to catch right back up to him as well. Well, contact between the 5 and the 9. 42 is looking away. Wow, he's going to make a 3-rider, looks like. Oh, nope, he got the apron. He saves it, but he's going to fall back. And Bradley got the apron there on the 5 car. Ooh, NCOG almost got into him, but I think Bradley went around. No, he went down the road. So we're going to ride with NCOG for one more lap, and then we're going to get some pre-race interviews in here real quick. So Predator got the wall there in turn 4. And speaking of Predator, Predator's gonna have some new sponsorship next week too. He's gonna have Switch come on as the sponsor of that 9 car. It's gonna have a whole new paint scheme. It's gonna have a red 9, chrome on it, maybe a little bit of black on it as well. So Predator will be walking some new colors next week at Richmond. And possibly he's going to be rocking some more colors, like armor, for instance. The armor car will be making a return. He's going to be on Nascar Man's car, the 7. And it's going to be on Predator's car, the 9. So a whole lot of sponsorship deals, some different paint schemes are going to be unfolding as the week comes to an end. This week and next week will begin. So let's get some interviews in here real quick. We're going to get Predator first in the 9 car. I'm curious to see how he handles Las Vegas tonight. Knowing that this will be the last time ever that we'll be on Heat 3. See if Predator can join us. And Predator's joined me now. How are you?
I'm alright.
You don't sound too enthusiastic, man.
I got some personal stuff going on.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I won't get into it. But it's gonna be the last race ever on NASCAR E3. So, how you feel about how the difference between NASCAR E4 was to NASCAR E3?
I haven't really practiced it with a wheel as much, so it's very different. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know a lot of people are gonna have difficulties getting used to pretty much everything new with tire fall off and aero and whatnot. So it'll be interesting.
Now, you're gonna be rocking some new sponsorship next week at Richmond. You're gonna have some new colors. Would you like to explain about that?
Yeah, we're gonna have a Switch on board. Very excited about that. It's a nice looking paint scheme, and we also got armor sausage back on the car. Not sure if we're gonna run the armor sausage again, but as of right now, Switch is the car to go.
Now, next week will be also be the beginning of the playoffs. So, how do you feel about your chance for the championship this season?
I feel very confident. I'm ready for it. It's gonna be fun. We got we got enough playoff points to make it to the next round, so I'm glad about that because Richmond, that's gonna be interesting. But Roval and hopefully we can redeem ourselves at Dover, but that's the first round, so hopefully we can get it done and move on to the next round.
Have you figured out which line you're gonna be wanting tonight? You're gonna be wanting the bottom. You're gonna want the middle. You're gonna want up ladder against the wall at the top. What are you gonna be wanting tonight?
Probably towards the bottom or middle. But it also depends where the traffic is. I want to take the lane away, and if I'm the leader, and if I'm not the leader, I want to follow the person, and hopefully they can make a mistake, and I can counter on it.
Well, good luck to you tonight. Hope you can get 5 more variable playoff points, a minimum of 5, maximum of 7, or 0. But chances are, if you don't get any playoff points tonight, you still got a crap ton to lean back on, and hopefully talk to you soon.
All right. Hopefully we can get our third win in a row. So it'll be very interesting.
Good luck.
All right. Appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, he seemed a little down, but hey, maybe a win would cheer him up after tonight. But we're gonna end part number 1 right here. We're gonna start qualifying in a little bit here. Thank y'all for tuning back into this part of the stream. Yeah, part of the stream. And I'll talk to y'all in a minute. I'll be back.